Hello, is this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream. And this stream I'm going to be going over the event week for this week in Red Online. And for some reason I got to this very late on Sunday, so there's probably going to be only like a day to take advantage of this by the time this gets uploaded, maybe less. But still, better late than never. Better to cover it at all than to not at all. But yeah. Main highlight for the event week is definitely 1.5 times money on collector set sales. Collector set sales are definitely one of the best ways normally to make money, so having like another 0.5 to that is very welcome indeed. Definitely very welcome, no doubt. And going to my spectator, there's 2 times money on NXP on featured series. Usually I go over the featured series pretty late, but since there's something going on with it, might as well cover it right now. But yeah, you basically have all kinds of different like teamwork modes. All kinds of different teamwork modes, and then it's in like 4 team versions. I don't know if these normally have 4 teams, but yeah. Includes hostile territory and inner weapon, ponder, and team shootout. But yeah, I don't really recommend it at all. I would definitely recommend sticking to the 1.5 times money on the collector set sales. So quite frankly, almost no reason to borrow a featured series when there's such a great opportunity already with the collector set sales. I suppose at least you get gold for the featured series, so at least there's that. So if you want a tiny bit of gold, then you can definitely do featured series. I imagine you definitely get gold for it, obviously like any other kind of showdown mode. So the one benefit much featured series would have over anything else kind of would be the gold opportunities. But even then there's a way to earn 2 treasure maps during the event week, which again is only for like another day. But yeah, still, rather cover it at all than not cover it whatsoever. And then there's also 2 times the raw XP on collectibles, so any actual collectible you pick up will be extra raw XP, which is great to go along with going for treasure maps. There's 2 different ways to basically get the treasure maps, which I'll go into later. And then there's 2 collector treasure maps for rank 16 plus and more. That's one of the couple ways you can earn those treasure maps, but there is another way for those who aren't that high in the collector that can get them. Or you can do it within like the last day or so. Now this will be up for the event week though, I don't necessarily know. But now going into the benefits section here. Okay, 1.5 times money on all complete collectible set sales. Also, as mentioned, 2 times world XP for discovering said collectibles. But yeah, haven't really mentioned much advice on the collectible set sales, but normally you can make like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for complete collectible set sales. So obviously, any of that money is going to be times 1.5, so you can probably make like 500 maybe on certain like collector sets that you normally make like a couple hundred on. You could probably make more like 500 or something. So very amazing for making money for the upcoming DLC for sure. Which they do actually mention something about the DLC, at least on the newswire. I don't know if it will be on the benefits section, but they did kind of hint a little bit more at the update. It's not much, I feel, compared to what was already on the newswire. I don't feel it provides all that much more compared to what's already on the Rockstar newswire. But yeah. Collectible sets, collectible sets are not actually too bad to obtain as long as you like use your like resources. If you use like the internet and stuff, there's like all kinds of collector maps on like Google and whatever other search engine you might use. One collectible map that I believe I use is called like the Gene Roanoke map. I don't use it that often. I tend to just like go for whatever I find for like the metal detector collectibles. But for some reason I need to like look for very particular collectibles in a pinch, or if I do want to go for certain full collector sets. I believe a very good collector map is known as like the Gene Roanoke map or something. I believe if you search up like Gene Roanoke Reddit Online or something, you should probably be able to find what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's very good sources out there on the internet for finding collectibles you may need. And for the sets you should go for any like above ground collector sets. So any that involve metal detectors are typically the worst in terms of going for the full sets. But for raw XP, the underground collectibles tend to be the best collectibles in terms of raw XP. So if you want raw XP, definitely go for the ones tied to the metal detector. I think those are definitely the best ones for that. But you should probably go for things like American Wildflowers, Bird Eggs, any sort of above ground collectible for the 1.5 times REO money. In fact, I guess I might as well go through all of them, kind of. Don't have Wiki Collection yet. I'll have to still go through that, of course, since I have to go to the post office. I'm by it, but I still need to go through it. But yeah, any sort of fossils are full-on underground collectibles. I don't really think you can get fossils outside of like digging them up with like a metal detector and shovel combination. At least for most circumstances. And the problem with underground collectibles is, as of the like Natros DLC, I think it was, they made it where like underground collectibles are like completely random. So you won't really know like what fossils you get if you, even if you look at like a map like the Gene Roanoke map, I believe, like I mentioned. Like you can know where like megafauna fossils, oceanic fossils, and coastal fossils are. You just don't know which one you'll pick up until you dig it up. It's completely random until you pick it up. Only like spots for the certain class of fossils are known, not like the exact like type you pick up or whatever. So like if you go for a coastal fossil, obviously, any sort of like coastal fossil on like a collector map, you'll be able to find like what's the coastal fossil, but you won't know if you'll pick up like the common petrified wood fossil until you dig it up, is what I mean. Same thing applies for all the fossils, not just that one, obviously. I believe Lost Jewelry is only partially randomized. I think some jewelry you can find above ground, so the above ground like jewelry you should be able to like guarantee like which one you get. But any that are on the ground, you won't know like the exact like type of lost jewelry, bracelet or earring you pick up, for example. Same obviously for necklaces and rings. Arrowheads is a fully underground collectible, just like the fossils, I'm pretty sure. So arrowheads, those are going to be fully randomized, like practically no matter which way you go about it. There is like a random event I know of though, where you can get like an arrowhead and like you can get one from like an animal. Yeah, you can get like certain arrowheads for like animals that you find for like random events. But yeah, those ones are probably kind of randomized as well, obviously being tied to random events. Even though they are above ground, they're not really guaranteed that way either. I think certain heroines might be underground as well, but I haven't really heard much of this one necessarily being randomized. And yeah, similar to fossils and arrowheads, coins are fully randomized as well, so you won't really know like which one exactly you pick up. And unlike arrowheads, which you can pick up off certain like dead animals from like certain random events, I don't really think there's much of a random event for coins that doesn't involve like digging them up with a shovel and like a metal detector. So the ones that leaves left, and these will probably be the best ones you'll want to go for going for full sets. And that's American Wildflowers. American Wildflowers, though, there are certain ones that are limited to time of day, so certain American Wildflowers only spawn at like nighttime, for example. So that's kind of a problem. This one is above ground, but there is like certain time of day only ones that are only like during nighttime and whatnot. Tarot cards, I believe all those you should be able to find at any time. I think American Wildflowers are the only ones where certain ones can only be found at certain times in the day. But yeah, tarot cards are completely above ground, so you shouldn't have much problem finding that if you use like the Gene Roanoke collector map, for example, or any other sort of like reliable collector map on like Google or whatever search engine. Antique alcohol bottles, that one's highly above ground as well. Same with, and with tarot cards and antique alcohol bottles, you can loot those off certain enemies. Same with certain things like lost jewelry. Lost jewelry can be looted off of dead people as well. Fabled bird eggs might honestly be one of the more interesting ones. I think there's one that you have to shoot with like a varmint rifle, like a regular round of a varmint rifle to get an egg off of like a tree or something. Besides for that one's a pretty good collector set because certain eggs you can get like multiples of certain eggs. So it's kind of one of the easier ones I think for the bird eggs to go for complete collector sets. And yeah, family heirlooms, at least most of them I believe are above ground. I think like hairpins and stuff tend to be underground, but like full on like brushes tend to be above ground. So heirlooms isn't one of the worst ones, at least. In terms of guaranteeing, like, which collectibles you pick up and whatnot. So all in all, I think Wildflowers, the tarot cards, antique alcohol bottles, bird eggs, and maybe family heirlooms are a couple of the few best collector sets to go for in terms of going for full collector sets for that 1.5 times on extra money. And yeah, 273.75 I feel is definitely pretty high for considering bird eggs. But yeah, I think it's pretty high for bird eggs personally, so I think it does depend to account the 1.5 times money. So the money you see currently will actually be like the 1.5 times money into account. Oh, GA collection value 810 for coins before someone would have a full set of coins. Yeah, I definitely don't think that one's normally 810, so yeah, that definitely puts into account 1.5 times. So a lot of the few I mentioned are some of the easiest ones to get. Obviously, I mean, they're not going to have as much value, and that's definitely the way to go. Which is very amazing for XP in general. Okay, I don't remember this being here. I think because it turned midnight, I guess the collectibles are relocated. I definitely don't remember this being here earlier in the stream. But yeah, hopefully that explains the collectible sets pretty nicely. Besides for week collection, that'll be for later. And that should count towards 1.5 times as well. And yeah. Collectors get a bundle of treasures just for playing this week. All collectors get free tarot cards so literally any collector, as long as you have like the collector bag or whatever, like 15 gold bar like item you need for the collector, as long as you have that, you get free tarot cards. Any below rank 20 will get a reward for 1,000 collector XP. Obviously, the reason you have to be below rank 20 is because rank 20 is the maximum, and then you don't need XP anymore. It's not like the Bounty Hunter where there's an award that was added with the prestigious Bounty Hunter where you can get like any excess XP towards and like awarded for like money and gold. It's not the case with the collector. But yeah, those who want to gain more than 5 ranks or are above rank 15, hence the 16 plus on as a spectator. We'll get a free collector's map. Doesn't really say which one it's gonna be. So that'll get you like free collectibles of some kind. And then 2 treasure maps, which that can make quite a couple gold bars. Quite a couple easy gold bars for those who are maxed out. Or who are at least rank 16, since that's the first one above rank 15. But if you're like a 9 or something, then just get into like 14. Well, actually, if you're a 9, you have to get more than 5 ranks. So, like, for example, if you're rank 9, you get 6 ranks to 15. That will also count towards getting the 2 treasure maps. So it depends on your situation if you're maxed out or within the last, like, section being, like, distinguished or whatever. I think it's called distinguished for, yeah. So as long as you're like complete with one of the distinguished ranks, you'll count towards it. But if not, like if you're here, if you get these 6, you will also apply, for example, if you don't have a certain rank. So very great for going for gold and preparing for the next update, because I doubt there's going to be something that doesn't cost gold in the next update. I mean, like I mentioned, they hinted at something and it said like no upfront cost, but that's definitely not going to be for like the whole update. I imagine it's probably just for like the one thing it mentioned, at least that was mentioned. And you know, later than June 16th, apparently this should be delivered and whatnot. Again, 2 times RDO money XP on the featured series. I don't really recommend doing that, because you can make way more money from collector. You can make way more money from collectibles, and that's even without doing it as a full set. Even just doing it normally, you can normally make better money than you can for showdowns, I imagine. Obviously. So 2 times is a nice incentive, but it's not enough, unfortunately. I feel it make it that good. Like I said, the one pro it has over the collector stuff is that it does provide gold, but the gold amounts will just be normal. It's nothing increased for gold. But if you want some sort of gold and still want to go for some opportunity, it's there, I suppose. If you win a featured series, you get a free hat up to rank 15, apparently. It's just a small little something. Again, no later than June 16th, apparently. And just some discounts here, 30% off all Criollo horses. I believe Criollo horses are actually the collector horses, so very fitting I'll see 30% off the Criollo horses. Those are the ones tied to the collector. And actually it says that down there, apparently. I was just going off of pure memory when I was saying all that. Seems to be a very good stamina horse over more... Seems to be more for stamina over health of a horse. Not very many stats to be able to worry about in terms of horse, honestly, but yeah. I'm sure they can be some of the better horses being tied to rolls and all. Some of the like later horse releases, essentially. 40% off all gun belts through the 14th, obviously. AK today, because I am doing it for the last day of the event week. Because I'll be honest, I was busy like completing a game. I was like playing a game. I was playing a very certain game. I'm not really want to say what it was, but I was putting a lot of effort into completing it, and it was taking way longer than I thought it would. So yeah, that's why I got to this stream so late. I've been busy playing another game. Or actually, I will say it was like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, whatever. I was trying to get like one more sticker, but one sticker literally took me like probably a whole day alone just to get. It's really annoying. So I kind of intended to do this a day ago, but yeah. Or even a couple days ago or something. So yeah, that's why I wasn't doing this before, is because I was busy with another game, because why not? I can play everything other than Red Dead and GTA off the channel, obviously, and whatnot. seems to be it for the part on the right there. Gun belts don't really do anything. I think they're just fully cosmetic though, so not really that great. And that's just the same thing, just swapped apparently. 5 gold bars off the collector's bag. Okay, I did recall what it was called. It was collector's bag indeed. But yeah, for those who don't have the collector's bag, it's normally 15 gold, 5 gold bars off, that's 33.3% off. 10 gold for collector, very nice. You cannot unfortunately get gold back from the collector. Obviously it starts for certain events like this, where you can get treasure maps from being a certain rank and whatnot for the collector. But it's the best, like, money roll in the game, I think, for sure. I think it's definitely the best way to make money in this entire game, as long as you do it correctly, and especially if you use, like, collector maps on, like, your preferred, like, search engine, if you find some sort of collector map on it. Very easy to make money with it if it's done right. So it definitely can be one of the most profitable and one of the best rolls in the entire game. So I highly recommend it for those who might not, for some reason, have it. And the thing on the bottom paragraph there, I think just explains the role, kind of. Discount on collector essentials. There's 40% off discounts on the Pennington Field Shovel, Metal Detector, Refined Binocular, and Horse Lantern, and then 30% off the Kilo Machete. Okay, so I'll try to remember those. Not collector's bag this time, but just select. But a Pennington Field Shovel, 40% off, $210 compared to what it is normally. It's probably like in the 300s normally. This is definitely absolutely worth picking up, because that's how you pick up buried collectibles, whether it's a visible dig site or through like the metal detector. If you want to become the best possible and most profitable collector, it's an absolute must, obviously, to pick that up. And yeah, I wouldn't really recommend a novice and established Creole horses. Obviously, I'd go for the established ones, the distinguished ones, if you can. Because for one, you'll get the most savings because they're the more expensive ones. And two, obviously, they've got to be the best stat ones, I imagine. Otherwise, why are they like the way end of the roll? Refined Binoculars, I think that was one of the ones that mentioned at 40% off. But yeah, Refined Binoculars are only useful for the dig sites, unfortunately. And that's for visible dig sites. Unfortunately, visible dig sites aren't very common, in my opinion, to really warrant getting it. I really don't feel the Refined Binoculars are all that worth it. You probably won't be using them that much in comparison to the metal detector. So yeah, I don't recommend getting Refined Binoculars. I think it's a big waste of money. I practically have never used it, and I've turned out to be a very successful collector in this game. Kilo Machete, I believe I said, was 30% off, and that's a gold bar thing, so you'll be saving on gold bars. But really, it's only worth, obviously, getting if you want to collect, like, all the different weapons in the game, or want to, like, get all the, like, gold costing things in the game for some reason. But obviously, you'll most definitely not get any use out of it being a melee weapon and all. And then, yeah, metal detector. As I mentioned, absolutely essential if you want to become the most profitable and, like, the best collector you want to be able to become. You probably don't need it for visible dig sites, but obviously, like any underground collectible, it will help significantly. I don't know if you need it for sure for underground collectibles, but obviously it helps significantly for finding them at least. So absolutely worth getting. And if you're being the most efficient collector possible, you should be using your metal detector in any moment you're not in like any sort of like player versus player or player versus enemy situation. So basically any time you're not in combat, you should probably be using your metal detector as much as possible if you're going to be the best collector as possible. So definitely one of the best investments, if not like the best investment in this entire game in my opinion. And it mentioned a horse lantern, I believe, for 40%. Horse lantern just lights your path with a lantern attached to the horse's breastplate. Honestly, not really too useful. This one can easily be skipped on. It's not something you would probably lose sleep over or anything if you wanted to get it on a 40 or 30% off discount, whatever. I mean, it's better for visibility, obviously. Yeah, hopefully that explains the discounts pretty nicely. I think all but the Gila machete and then like the refined binoculars, I think all of the other couple are worth it, and that's not including like the horses, where I only recommend the distinguished horses being the last of them, obviously. So hopefully I explained that all pretty well. Yeah, that was 40% off. Field shovel, which that one's highly worth it. Same with metal detector. Refined binocular, that one was not really that worth it, as I explained. Horse lantern's not necessarily a bad one, but it's not really one I necessarily recommend either. And the Gila machete, probably not one I recommend unless you want cheaper gold bars for it or something. Not have to spend as much gold on it. But I've seen updates around the corner, so if for some reason you don't have it, I probably wouldn't necessarily recommend spending it. Like 4 gold on a Gila machete. And 30% off all collector roll outfits. Just a small little discount there. And finally, Prime Gaming benefits. I think these are actually new Prime Gaming benefits, if I recall. I believe these were added with this event week, so these are technically new, so I will be going over it. And this goes until July 5th, apparently, so around a month, because I believe this event week started on like the 8th or something. But yeah, apparently you get a reward for free emo and more. Reward for free emo plus offer for 30% off the bar expansion and a novice or promise the Moonshiner item of your choice. So quite the Moonshiner themed stuff there. Free emo, that's obviously whatever. They tend to do that kind of stuff, I imagine, through certain event weeks and stuff as like certain offers. So obviously that's pretty trash one for free emo for Prime Gaming of all things, but I suppose it's something, since for some reason emotes are paid in this game. But yeah, offer for 30% off bar expansion. I was by my Moonshine Shack, but I'm not gonna really go to the Moonshine Shack. I'll just explain it, I think. Bar expansion is kind of worth having, kind of not necessarily. It depends on if you're at your Moonshine bar a lot. But yeah. Moonshine bar has like certain amenities you can use there. Like you might be able to drink like coffee or like restore your Deadeye or something. I forget if there's like a coffee machine there or not. I believe there's for sure almonds there, which restores like the health core. Obviously like drink your own like moonshine and stuff, so that's pretty worth it. So you can get benefits off of the like moonshine you produce. I don't know if it's necessarily required to like do the moonshine business to have the bar expansion. I don't know if it's necessarily required. But at least it lets you reap your benefits on your own moonshine if you were to drink your own moonshine or whatever, if you wanted like better cores and stuff. So really it's best if you want like better cores throughout being in a lobby. Though I highly prefer like having like the best possible 10 in the entire game and just going into another lobby when your cores get really bad. Because obviously over time your cores aren't going to be good, that's just how this game works, I suppose. So really, It's more so if you want to stay in a lobby for a really long time, which isn't necessarily really not worth it in my opinion. Like I said, I'd rather get like a tent in like the camp than have to like stay in the same lobby, and it only takes like a couple minutes in my opinion to re-lobby and then get back to like 170% cores. I believe like it goes up to 175% on the cores or whatever with like the best tent in the entire game from the camp. So personally I'd rather do that. There is something that does make it kind of worth it though in terms of daily challenges though. One of the easiest possible challenges you can get in this entire game is actually tied to the Moonshiner, I'm pretty sure. Or a couple of them even. There's one where you can like dance for like 2 minutes, I think. There's ones where you can like dance for 2 minutes, which is quite a simple one. You just have your band play like music if you have the band expansion. And you literally just dance for 2 minutes, that's the easy 0.10 gold or whatever your streak is at. Very easy way to like continue your streak if you don't want to be on the game a lot. And there's also one where you have to like play a like instrument there or something. You can play with the band for like a couple minutes. I think that's like another one. So Moonshiner has some of the easiest like challenges in the entire game. And if you bother with the moonshine business at all, it's easy to drink your own like strong moonshine, for example. Yeah, a couple of the moonshine challenges are some of the easiest challenges in the entire game, if for some reason there's a day where like the regular general challenges aren't that great for some reason. Like seriously, some of the moonshiner ones are simply as easy as the self-portrait one. Maybe only like a couple minutes longer at best. So Moonshine Roll does have a couple of the like easiest roll challenges and challenges in general in the entire game. And to get the band expansion, you do need that bar expansion. So 30% off that, definitely pretty nice. I think that explains basically everything that makes it kind of worth getting for the bar expansion. Then Officer Promising Moonshiner item of your choice for 30% off. So I'll go over the first half of the Moonshine roll. So Novice Promising, Toxic Moonshine. I can't imagine you can just buy Toxic Moonshine. I don't think you need the pamphlet in order to create Toxic Moonshine. I don't know if it's one of the more exclusive things that you do actually need a pamphlet for. Because there is certain like ammo types and stuff you do actually need a pamphlet for in order to make it whatsoever. And the only way to get that kind of stuff if you don't have a pamphlet is for like certain event weeks for like login rewards and stuff. So I mean if you use it a lot it could be kind of worth it, but probably not really worth it. Complete cosmetic there, complete cosmetic there. Norfolk Roadsters again, like the other rolls, there's better ones for established and distinguished, so I would not recommend using it on the Norfolk Roadsters. Bar expansion, I already explained the bar expansion. Very worth getting 30% off. And I don't know if you can stock the 30% off with the 30% off of the bar expansion, so I don't know if you can get up to like 60% off. I don't think you can combine multiple like offers. You might be able to combine it with like a discount, but I don't know if you can combine like offer on top of offer. I don't think that's possible. I think you can only like combine it with a discount and an offer, not an offer and an offer, if that makes sense. Well, like I said, very worth it if you want some access to some of the easiest daily challenges in the game. If you want some easy access to daily challenges that can easily keep your streak up and only have to play a couple minutes in the game, very worth getting the bar expansion, especially for that. Aside from that, it's mainly if you just want to be in a lobby for a real long time. Saddle depends on the stats. I imagine it can definitely be one of the better like saddles in the game. Probably be one of the latest saddles ever added in the game. Complete cosmetic outfit there. Complete cosmetic buckle there. But yeah, at least on the ones with gold bars, you should save the 30% off on the gold bars as well. Flammable Moonshine, that is very cheap, obviously, so definitely not worth doing that one. Sawed-off shotgun variant. I believe the variants do actually get you all the attachments because it locks out the ability to get attachments. I don't know why they would lock out the ability to get attachments if it doesn't provide you with all the attachments when you get a variant. So it could be very worth it. It can be very worth getting a sawed-off shotgun variant for sure. Complete cosmetic cure, but at least it's gold bars. Again, like I mentioned with the ban expansion, you need the ban expansion and the bar expansion to get access to those couple easiest daily challenges I mentioned, like dancing for 2 minutes and then like playing one of the instruments for like 2 minutes or something. Like I said, Moonshiner has some of the easiest daily challenges in the game if you just want to hop on a couple minutes and like keep your streak up for some reason. I personally was doing that when I was going for like a 3-week streak or something. I had around a 21-day streak, I think, at one point on one of my Event Week streams. So yeah, personally I noticed, especially recently, how helpful the bar and ban expansion are for keeping up a daily challenge streak. So for that reason alone, I think it's worth it, but it is very pricey and not worth $8.50, that's for damn sure. Condenser upgrade allows you to produce average strength moonshine. Now if you could automatically jump to the polished copper, which allows you to produce the strong moonshine, if you could just do that one, I wouldn't recommend it. But apparently you do need the condenser upgrade in order to get this polished copper one, so that is definitely one I highly recommend. And a complete cosmetic outfit here. So probably the best couple I'd say would definitely be the bar expansion. Best couple to few would be bar expansion, shotgun variant, ban expansion, or the condenser upgrade. Those would definitely be the 4 I'd probably take advantage of the most. Alright, I just want to kind of see what I have in here. Oh damn, a lot of mine expired apparently, so I barely have any here, apparently. Oh damn. Wait, why do I have 4 gold bars? Maybe I forgot to claim it. Maybe I forgot to claim this from Outlaw Pass number 5, I don't know. I thought like all the Outlaw Pass stuff expired on like the 31st or something, I don't know. Okay, screw it, I'll do these mystery ones on here, I guess. I don't know, it said there was something new here, so it's probably new? I don't know. Like, damn, they hella wiped out my fucking offers and rewards, apparently. I made sure to take advantage of some of them, at least, before they expired. Alright, finally I should have time for the weekly collection here. Oh wow, I got a daily challenge, apparently. Don't go in there more 24 game hours, easy. Honestly though, the ban expansion ones with the Moonshiner are probably much easier I feel to do than not going to Animal for 24 hours, because it depends on what you need to do in the game, I suppose. Plus it could accidentally trample something. Okay. Come on. Wait, club rewards? Wait, what? Just said something about club rewards, stuff being sent to my thing. I'm confused. I'm very confused there, actually. I clocked anything in the post office right now. Alright, I guess I might have already got the tarot cards from this current event week, I suppose. Alright, that was that treasure map from last event week, I think.
I heard criminals are moving contraband around by train.
I have the tarot cards at least.
Where the hell they get a train?
Alright, apparently that was it. But yeah, weekly collection for the last like day or so is St. Denis collection. or whatever pronunciation on it. Alright, I went the wrong way for some reason, but yeah, as seen, there's only 20 hours, 24 minutes left, so that's kind of when I decided to do this stream for some reason. Again, I was busy trying to complete another game, though, so yeah, I was busy on another game like crazy. But yeah. Anyways, the weekly collection, St. Denis collection, there's Cognic, Felix, Diamond Ring, and then Debuchin, Ruby Earrings, whatever pronunciations and all. But yeah, obviously there's 1.5 times on the collector set, so it's way more valuable than it is normally, so $127.50 is actually a very good value for a weekly collector set. And I mean, it's a very easy collector set to do, you don't have to put much effort into it necessarily. So actually for once, I feel a weekly collection can be very worth it. Probably one of the best weekly collections they've done in the game, for sure, in terms of, like, the timing that they've done it and all. But yeah, Cognix, an antique alcohol bottle, so that can be found above ground, and you're mainly going to find it above ground, so you should be able to find it on a collector map on Google or whatever preferred search engine. Again, I believe the one I use is a Gene Roanoke collector map. So searching like Gene Roanoke, Red Online, or collector map or something should get you where you need to go for that, I suppose. And then the diamond ring and then earrings, those are both lost jewelry. Like I said, from what I heard, I think the jewelry is only partially randomized. So I guess that highly depends on like the item, I suppose, if it's like fully randomized or not, similar to like a coin or arrowhead or like a fossil, for example. So depending on which one it is, it could be easy to get, otherwise you will have to deal with a lot of like randomness. So these two can definitely be way more annoying than this to get, but if you do have these free, it's very easy. We could collector set, take advantage of it, easy $127.50. Considering it's 1.5 times, obviously. Which if there wasn't that, then most definitely, it would definitely be under $100. I mean, so that's a nice way to make some quick, decent money, but still, if you can, I would definitely recommend going to a full collector set anyways, obviously. And even with the full collector set, I don't necessarily recommend taking advantage of the 1.5 times on the collector set, because there's an Outlaw Pass coming pretty soon. And one of the best ways to complete the Outlaw Pass is to have full collectible sets. So if you have a full collector set, that's like an easy 1,500 XP, I believe, if you have a full collector set. So yeah, that's an amazing experience if you want to complete your Outlaw Pass. You might want to even save your collector sets for the next Outlaw Pass in the game. So even then, might not necessarily be that worth it doing any sort of like collector selling stuff in this event week. If you want to save for the collector, if you want to save for the Outlaw Pass number 6. But yeah, hopefully that explains it pretty well. With the extra 1.5 times, definitely way more tempting than a normal weekly collector set when they do them, typically. But yeah, that's almost going to conclude this event week stream, but there is... Yeah, that will almost conclude the collector... That will almost conclude this event week stream, but let me make sure that I've covered everything. There is one thing I know for sure I still need to cover, and that was not on the benefits section. Because it's not involving the event week, it was a little teaser at the like next update. Which it gave a slight bit more detail, but it wasn't too much or anything. And obviously I haven't given my opinion on it yet, because I'm just doing this event week stream literally on like the last day. But yeah, Red Dead Online's next update. As part of the early summer update coming to Red Dead Online, all kinds of new, unlawful ventures will emerge for those willing to convert themselves in a certain moderately flexible manner. But yeah, new unlawful ventures. They didn't really mention anything new in the first, sentence they put in that little paragraph there. But yeah, kind of gets a bit more exciting, of course, but not too much necessarily later on. These will include the ability to rob homesteads across the 5 states in free roam. So yeah, we're getting homestead robberies. They didn't really say what kind of robberies we were really getting, I think, with the Newswire I made a video on like a couple weeks ago or whatever. I didn't really say like what kind of robberies we were getting, at least for Red Dead Online, I think. GTA Online, they might have mentioned it kind of, but I don't feel they really mentioned what kind we were getting for Red Dead Online. So yeah, now we know we're getting homestead robberies, apparently. Which that's kind of a thing from the single player, actually. When I watched the professional, they showed like some single player gameplay of like homestead robberies, so it's another one of those like single player features you bring into the game, which is pretty cool. And I think when I watched Professional, he mentioned there is actually a difference between like a burglary and a robbery. I think burglaries are, goddammit, I can't say it right. I think burglaries, whatever the fuck, can't seem to talk right now. I believe those are like silent ones, but I think robberies are where you like actually confront the people in like the homesteads, from what I believe Professional mentioned. So apparently that's going to be like loud and dumb kind of robberies. Hopefully there is burglaries as well, though. I'd like to see the option to be able to do the stealth options and not just like having to get caught by them. I hope there's an option to do like some sort of stealth burglary and not a fucking robbery. But obviously that's only a little taste of what we're getting, obviously. So there's hope, obviously. Across 5 states in free roam, so yeah, across 5 states means you can do it in any of the 5 like, territories. That includes like Amberino as well. Even though that area probably doesn't have very much, I imagine. As well as open up new avenues for personal enrichment. Again, that part doesn't really explain anything new. And like any good opportunity, this one is devoid. And like any good opportunity, this one is devoid of upfront expenditures. So they particularly mention with the homestead robberies, you don't have to like pay gold bars or anything. So it doesn't suggest it's like tied to a role or nothing. So that's pretty good. Robberies seem like they can be done by anyone in free mode, not necessarily tied to like a role kind of thing or anything. Doesn't mean we're not getting a role with the update, obviously, but yeah. At least that aspect seems like it can be done by anybody in the entire game. Which I expect, because it's probably not going to be anything too huge. It might be one of those like small like free mode things you can do. I don't think it's one of the like significantly game-changing things that could happen. Plus, look for an all-new membership rewards club as part of the forthcoming update. More details coming soon. And that was, again, like a week ago, because I'm doing this on the last day of the event weeks. I'm doing this stream on the last day of the event week here. So yeah, very exciting sounding for sure. Homestead robberies, definitely pretty excited to try that. Whenever that happens.
So I'm guessing you're not just here to pass the time.
But yeah. By the way, GTA Online actually has a 2-week event week, whereas this has the 1-week event week. So I don't know, maybe GTA Online might get its update first, and then Red Dead Online follows after. Personally, I was kind of expecting GTA Online's update to happen last, and Red Dead's to happen first, so I guess for Red Dead Online's might be a more significant update, if for some reason it ends up actually being the case. I feel it kind of gets undershadowed by GTA Online, because obviously that's the money maker of GTA Online, so they kind of gotta focus on that, even though they have their own game, obviously. So they're probably gonna put more effort in GTA Online, obviously, like they typically do, I'd say. And not to mention it's like a lot more established and stuff. But yeah. Very excited regardless. Sounds a bit promising. However, I'm not like 100% like have my hopes up that this will be the game-changing update. I feel Frontier Pursuits is pretty game-changing, but I don't feel it was necessarily enough for this game. This game does need more crime elements, whereas a lot of the stuff we have right now is like anti-crime. I mean, yeah, anti-crime, like, it's all like good, like positive stuff. There's not a lot of like negative stuff you can do in this game. In terms of like DLC updates, at least.
One here for some money under the table, I assume.
So I really hope it's the game-changing thing I need. But yeah, if I didn't mention new membership rewards, is most definitely Outlaw Pass number 6 that I mentioned there. So yeah, again, even though there's this really good event week of 1.5 times on the collector set sales, you might want to save your collector sets for the Outlaw Pass number 6. Because people tend to save their like collector sets for a really easy experience for the Outlaw Pass. That's some people's best ways of leveling it up. It probably is the best way, honestly, to level it up if you just save a lot of collector sets, honestly. It probably is definitely the best way to level it up. And that should be all for this event week stream. But yeah. That will finally be it for this event week stream. Next event week stream will be for GTA Online. Which, as I mentioned, GTA Online actually has a 2-week event week stream. So it kind of suggests that GTA Online might actually be getting its update pretty soon, whereas maybe the Red Online one comes a bit later, but not as soon as I necessarily would have thought. But yeah, that's sorry, I have 4 more bars of like 27.96, and all the treasure maps from the... Just total 2 treasure maps, I believe I still have to get from this event week, and then there's that one that I got on the stream last event week. So I should be very set on gold bars, I think, for sure, for the next update. I have almost 30 now. Could definitely get over 30 with those treasure maps, and I'm actually almost ranked on 40 now, which that will be a treasure map as well. So yeah, I'm very established in this game. I should probably put a lot more effort into GTA Online though. I've been slacking on that recently. But yeah. Next stream will be the 2-week GTA Online event week stream, so that one won't have another event week stream for a while once I get that one done. And then, of course, I'll get to the next Red Dead event week stream, hopefully in the next few days. So that will finally be it for this stream. Hope you enjoyed.